Okay, I guess I'm live now. So let's see how many people joins today. Okay. Okay. So hi everyone. Welcome to this live session on Dialogflow CX. In this 4 or 5 series of live sessions on every Saturday, we will be exploring Dialogflow CX platform. We will understand the platform, understand the core concepts of the platform. We will see how to use that. We will look into programming part as well, and finally in the last session we will build a food ordering chatbot from scratch. Also in this 4 or 5 video series, I will be guiding you how to start your freelance journey as well. So let's get started here. So okay, so let's first go to Excalidraw just to understand what we will be doing. So the core concept of Dialogflow intent is a kind of classification of user's query into certain predefined classes. For example, let's say if user says hi, hello, something like that, something that falls into a category of greetings, then we will classify that into, let's say, default welcome intent or greetings intent, and we can do whatever we want to do after that. Then there is another concept, entity means you can say key point extraction. This is user query classification. Okay, like I want to book an appointment this Sunday at 5 p.m. So this Sunday and 5 p.m. is entity, or are entities basically. Then there are two new things compared to ES, because Dialogflow CX works on a finite state machine where you move from one state to another state, and on the other hand, essential version, priorly known as API.ai, works on a different principle, that is context based conversation. So here there is a flow and there is a page. So let's understand flow and page. So I'll take a simple example. Let's say registration flow in any website. Okay, in any website there is a registration flow. So you will have a login page, uh, error page. Okay, login page, error page. So you land on login page, you provide your credential, either you go to some other state, or you move to error page, or you stay on the login page and see the error. So this registration process is a flow, and inside the process you move from one state to another state. Like you provide your email address and you receive OTP, you provide email address and it says that it doesn't recognize the email, please make sure you have provided the correct email. Okay, so this is how flow and pages work in Dialogflow CX, and we will look into these things in very much greater details. Then there is webhook, broadly known as fulfillment. That means Dialogflow CX or Dialogflow ES as well, that doesn't have capacity to interact with outside world. So in order to make sure that your agent or your Dialogflow CX agent have access to real-time information, for example database, for example any third-party APIs. So in order to make sure that these things are possible, you use webhook. And the last part is integration. Integration means connecting your agent to different communication platforms like WhatsApp, website, okay, WhatsApp, let's say Telegram, etc. This kind of connection is, I'm not sure why it's not working, but let's see. So WhatsApp, Telegram, these kind of platforms where the user interacts with our chatbot is done through integration. So these are couple of core concepts of Dialogflow CX. One more time, intents are kind of a classification mechanism that classifies user query into certain classes, whatever we define. Then entity is a key point extraction from the user's query. Like for example, my name is Raj, then Raj is person name, so that is entity. Then flow is a kind of a process, and page is a kind of a stop in the process or small sub process of the main process. And webhook is to fetch real-time information, and integration is connection of the agent to different communication platform. So these are the few basic concepts of Dialogflow CX. Also, I want to show you what we will be doing. Okay, so here is the course plan. Okay, so we will understand the basic of conversational AI and Dialogflow CX. Learn to create, manage intent, entity, pages, flows, webhook for external communication. We will build a food ordering chatbot as well, and we are not going to do this, but when we will build this food ordering chatbot, we will look into different aspects of how you build a chatbot, and these are the few breakups of each modules. Okay, we will be looking into all of these things one by one as we move into the course, and this is what we will build. Okay, so this is kind of a basic outlines of our course. Let's understand how conversation works. So conversations are like, let's say we have a user who says hi, and we have an agent. I'll not use the word agent, but let's say a bot who says like, hi, how can I help you today? Okay, so this is one conversation. Then obviously there are multiple possibilities, but let's say for simplicity, user says where is my order? Okay, after receiving this, the bot says like, let's see, can you provide the order number or your registered mobile number? Okay, this way it actually tries to get the information. So what happens is that from this point user can go here, or user can say, for example, what can you do? Okay, bot can say, I can do the following things, for example, one, check order status, and two, let's say, order food, and things like that. So here you understand these three are conversation. Now user can move from this point to this point, or this point to this point. This is a separate conversation, this is a separate conversation, this is a separate conversation. There is a strong possibility that sometimes user asks something and you don't have the answer. So for those cases, I hope it's visible. For those kind of cases, let's say user says like, how can I make paper plane? Okay, so bot can say that. So obviously at this point the bot doesn't have that capacity. So bot will say like, I did not understand that, and then how else I can help you? Okay, so this is again a conversation. So this way there are infinite numbers of possibilities that a user can interact with the agent we build. So we need to look into all the scenarios when we build, and if you look at all these for conversation, you see that bot drives the conversation. So from this point we are asking, how can I help you? So we force, or we kind of close end the conversation for the user. So he can go either, where is my order, or what can I do for you? And if user writes something that doesn't fall into these two things, then we will say, I did not understand that, how else I can help you? Or we can say, I can only do check order status or order food. So this is how a conversation works in real scenarios as well. And we will build these kind of conversation in Dialogflow CX itself. So let's go to Dialogflow CX Console. So for that I'll say Dialogflow CX Console. Before we move forward to this Dialogflow CX Console, you need to have account with GCP, that is Google Cloud Platform. Any Gmail account will work, and you can create your project, or whenever you create a new account here, you will receive a default project as well. Make sure you have that before you go to Dialogflow CX Console, and then you go to Dialogflow CX Console itself. And when you go here, you will see this kind of interface where you have a facility to select an existing project, or you can create a new project. Ultimately it will be residing on GCP itself. So here I already have a project. I'll select that. When you select that project, you have an opportunity to create a new agent. So hopefully you see this kind of screen. Here when you go to create agent section, it will ask you to auto generate a bot or build your own bot. This auto generate will ask for a URL or content, and the bot can answer based on the information, or you build your own. So I'll select build your own. Now here a couple of interesting thing, that you provide a name to your bot, then you select a location. I suggest if you don't have any problem, you choose global, but if you have any preference, you can choose location which is nearest to you for low latency, but basically it doesn't affect that much. Then you select time. Okay, the nearest is Kathmandu, and then default agent language, and when you hit create, it will take few brief seconds to register the things. Okay, so now this is a kind of interface that you will see, and we will look into all the things. So let's say from this left side there is a hamburger icon. you will see platform, agent console, agent assist, conversational insight, Dialogflow ES version, and contact center. These things are kind of advanced setting, so we will not be looking into these things. Then there is a build and manage section. So here in the build section, you can create flow pages, and there is a kind of drag and drop mechanism here, that you can zoom in, zoom out. When you attach something, you'll see here as well in a kind of a flow chart fashion. Then there is a manage section. Here we have intent, entity, webhook, route group, and data store generators. These three things are kind of advanced. This data store is a kind of application where you can upload your structured or unstructured data, and then you can connect that data to the agent. Generator is a kind of generative AI. Then there is a test cases, validation, whatever changes you have made, the history of it, conversational history, analytics of a user interaction. These are testing and deployment. We will not be looking into it as well. Then there is a important step, integration. So if you go to integration, you will see different integrations that are at this point provided, like Dialogflow Messenger for web connection, Facebook Messenger, Workplace, Line, Google Chat, Slack, and other stuff. So these few are external links. As you can see, it's shows the logo, like icon as well. So these few connections, integrations, are externally supported, and these few things are managed by Dialogflow itself. You provide the credentials and you enjoy the connection. So these are the few things on manage section. Then on the right side, on the middle part, we have the project, the agent selector, and the language selection drop box. Then under publish section, you can see how to publish the agent, okay, and also you can connect it to Dialogflow Messenger as well. Then there is agent setting. Here all the settings of the agent can be done, like the name, log the agent, enable cloud logging, enable conversational history, consent based and user redirection. If you want to export your things to BigQuery and other stuff. On the ML section, how you want your flow to be entertained, what should be the classification threshold, what kind of natural language processing technology that you want to use. Do you want to auto train or not? You can manually train it from here as well. Then there is a section for generative AI. Okay, here you can see how the agent behave in term of not safe kind of things. Then there is a speech and IVR. In case you want to connect your agent to IVR system, you can manage few things from here. And dual tone, multi-frequency, DTMF things or events basically can be enabled from here. Then there is a multi-modal thing called companion. This is kind of advanced things, but we are not going to look into this. This is a kind of call companion. When you are on a call, you can open kind of a UI where you have limited functionality, text, buttons, clickable buttons, and things like that. Then there is a share section. You can share your agent with someone that you trust or someone who is a developer. Then there is languages, the languages that are supported. You can choose a language. that you want to add to the existing agent. But when you do that, I want you to understand that you need to create all the intents and entities again for the new language that you add. Under security section, configure the agent with a location sensitive security setting. Okay, then there is advanced section, which is nothing at this point. So these are the few things. On the left side, one more left, is a test agent. This is a kind of a simulator. Here you can see how the agent works, what are the things that the agent has done after user provides a query. Then there is a save as test case. So as I said, here there are test cases. So you save a kind of conversational flow like this. For example, you go here, you get the mobile number and fetch the order status and show it. So the for conversation is kind of a flow or a test case. Then there is this test case. So you can create test cases, either importing some of the test cases, or you save a conversation as a test case from here. Then there is a replay test, means the last conversation will be repeated when you press this button. And there is reset, means if you do something and you do reset, it will reset everything, or the whole conversation will be reset. And test the environment, either draft or whatever environment you have created, or test specific flow of the conversation or something. You can do it here, like choosing a flow, choosing a page as well. So this is a kind of a brief introduction about the platform itself. And if you go to manage and intent section, you'll see we have two intents: default welcome intent and default negative intent. If I go here, you'll see that there are few things: intent name, any kind of label that you want to provide so that you can segregate or group similar intents or similar doing intent into a group. Then there is a description, then there is a training phrases. Okay, so this is how an intent is created. And you can see default welcome intent, we have just going to say hi, hey, hello, hi. So it's basically saying things that falls into greetings. Then there is a default negative intent. So that means it's most probably empty, it doesn't have any training phrases. So that means if you see user writing something that doesn't fit into any intents that the agent has, then it will trigger negative intent. So here under build section, we have this start page. So when I click on it, you will see few things. Now understand that we have routes, event handler, also we have other kind of state handler, we have route groups and data stores. I will look into things when we move ahead, but you can see we have routes, event handlers. So that means when user starts interacting with the agent or with the bot, this is the entry point. This is the main entry point where user can start interacting. There is a strong possibility, instead of saying hi, user can say few things. For that we have routes. So that means route the conversation to different flow. So you can see this is a kind of a route. Okay, this is again kind of a route. Okay, this is again a route. So we have routes. You can create a new route from here, and we'll look into that as well. Then we have event handlers. So there are few events. For example, flow cancelled, flow failed, escalate the conversation to human, a long utterance, no input default, no match one, no match default. So that means twice you can handle no match. No match means when user writes something like this: how can I make a paper plan? Okay, a webhook not found, webhook invalid, or webhook error, unknown error, things like this can be handled. So you choose an event, do few things, and you are good to go. So those are event handlers. So in a flow you can have the event handlers, and those event handlers will work throughout the flow. When you create a new flow, that new flow has their own event handlers. Now let's look into the route. So this is the first route. So you can see route are called when an end user's input matches an intent or some condition, or session status. We'll look into these things, but you can understand that a route means a flow of conversation from one state to another state. So when you create a new route, you will have a description. You can either choose intent or condition, as you can read it here, intent and or some condition. So there is a strong possibility that either you choose intent or condition, or you can have intent and conditions as well, multiple conditions as well. Then there is a fulfillment section. Under that you can have agent responses. You can choose multiple responses. A Dialogflow will choose one of these randomly. You can add another dialog options as well. There are plenty of options. Then there is channel specific responses, like you choose a channel and add that channel and provide a response. In case you want to call webhook, you can enable webhook. Here few advanced setting, but we will not. And call companion, we will not look into that. Then there is an important step, transition. So when this intent or this route, basically not intent, this route is triggered, what you want to do next. Either you don't do you do nothing, or you move to a page, or you move to separate flow. So these are the few things that you can modify when you create, or you can add when you create a route. Here you can create a new flow, import flow as well. There are plenty of pre-built flows as well. Then there are pages. You create a page, give it a name. So here let's first test how things works. So when I say hi here, yeah, you'll see we got a response, greetings, how can I assist you? Okay, and there are execution steps as well. If I hover over it, execution steps may be invalid if you make changes on the virtual agent, but basically it shows the steps that the execution has followed to get this response to us. So if I click here, so it says that it started the things, then it went to this default welcome intent route and fetch the response from here. So you can see we have two steps. So basically it says it has started the application, went to this default start flow, and then from there it found that this thing falls into this route and it has fetched the response to us. So this is few brief things about Dialogflow CX platform itself. Meanwhile, let me check if couple of so many people are saying nice explanation. Can you state the state handler and event handler? I guess. Okay. Just can anyone confirm few things like the flow in which I'm explaining is okay, and you hear my audio very neat and clean? Can someone confirm that? I guess I need to learn how to do few things. Okay, I'm not sure why I'm unable to get the YouTube live on my another monitor, chat on my another monitor, but that's totally fine. So I guess I'm sure that you have understood the things. If you have any question, you can ask here. Okay, Gopichan saying good to go ahead. Thanks, Gopichan. Okay, 100%. Thank you everyone for joining this session. Okay, so now let's move ahead and let's create another flow. I'll hit create flow. Let's say first flow. Okay, I'll use these things. First flow. If I click here, you'll see start page again. There is route, event handler, add state handlers. Event handlers again are event handlers. Events are listed here. So for example, let's say you have webhooks on couple of routes here, and let's say webhook unavailable, you set a response like we are unavailable. Okay, this way when you save it, you'll see it here. Now we'll look into those things later, but this is how you use event handlers. And then just a minute, I need to make sure that I have access to chat so that when someone writes something I can. I'm not sure how can I. Okay, I'll manage that thing next time. Meanwhile, nice sir, you can go ahead. Welcome sir. Okay. So this way we can create a flow, and I hope you understand. When you create a new flow, there is a default start page that is created. When you create a new flow, there is a start page. So you can move from one flow to another flow, one flow to another flow. So let's do one thing. Let's create an intent. I'll say redirect hyphen first hyphen flow. Now, there is no hard and fast strict rule that you can follow to give a name to the intent. But what I usually do is that when you want to redirect the user to another flow or another page or somewhere else, or something like that fashion, I use redirect. So that means when I read it, redirect the user to first flow. And here I'll write some phrases like first flow, and you'll see one thing when I hit enter. No, it did not happen, but this is a kind of annotation tool that lets us allow annotating a word or number of words to and assign it to an entity. So okay, I'll write two phrases. You can see it has identified the word first as a ordinal, but I'll delete that because I don't want to use that. Okay, again, on the number of training phrases, there is no strict hard and fast rule, but the more the number of unique training phrases into an intent, the better quality of conversation the user will get. So I'll save this. Okay, so we have redirect first flow intent. So now I'll go to build, go to default start flow. Under pages, I'll click on add route, or you can click it here as well. You can manage the route from here. Then I'll click on add route. You'll find the same interface. I'll choose an intent, redirect to first flow, and you can see I have used redirect to first flow. I'll not write anything here, and then I'll choose the first flow and I'll save this. Okay, and when I did that, you will see that the first flow and this is the symbol of flow is connected to the start page in default start flow. When I click here, you will see this start page of this first flow. So this is, now if I reset this and write hi, you will see that good day and what can I do for you today. And if I look into the execution steps here, so when started, we went to this default start flow, that is our starting point. Then here we went to default welcome intent route. We got this response randomly chosen by Dialogflow. Okay, and now we are waiting here. Okay, so we did not go to this first flow, you can see here clearly. Okay, now if I write something here, so you understand we are at this point. Okay, and if I write something here, let's say first flow, and when I hit enter, nothing happened, but you can see the execution steps again. So we came here and we went to redirect first flow intent or route, my bad, not intent but a route. There was nothing, so we did not do anything. Okay, and now if I go here, That means you are here. You are here. Now see, what I'll do is that I'll click here, and in the intent section I'll not do anything, but in the condition section I'll click here and I'll say true. Okay, I'll say true, and I'll here say I am a response from the first flow true route. Okay, I'll save this. Okay, I'll save this one more time, and now I'll not write the conversation again, but I'll hit replay. So when I return hi, we got randomly hi, how are you doing? When I return first flow, we got I am a response from the first flow true route. So that means if you look at the execution steps, we came to the starting point, then went to the redirect flow. Make sure you understand that the execution steps are only for the last conversation. Then we went there, then we actually went to this first flow, okay, and enter true route, because when you write this, you are into the first flow, but when we did not do this true route, there was nothing, so we did not see anything. But when we have this true route, we got this response, I am a response from first flow true route. Okay, so this is how it works, and let me show you one more thing as well. So here routes, I'll delete this route, okay, clearly. Now we will create a new page. Let's say first page. Okay, this is first page. So now you will wondering how we go to this first page. So there are a couple of ways. Here, when we are on this default start flow, when this intent, or my bad, this route is triggered, we can directly navigate to from flow to first flow. But from page, you can see we cannot navigate to the page inside first flow, the first page. This is where finite state machine comes. You can move into pages of the same flow. You cannot move from this default start flow to first flow, page inside first flow. My bad if it is not clear. There is a flow, so obviously you can from first flow to second flow, you can easily navigate from first flow to second flow. Under first flow, we have first page, then we have second page. Okay, these two. So you can move, let me okay, so what you can do is that you can navigate independently between my bad, from this to this, or this to this, or this to this part. Okay, it is totally doable. but and let's say we have a first page, second flow. Okay, so you can obviously navigate from this to this, but you cannot navigate from this part to this part, cannot. Okay, or cannot navigate between this part to this part. And let me demonstrate that as well. So you are here and you cannot navigate to other page which is outside the flow. So I hope this is clear. So that's why we will move to first flow first, and then in order to move to this first page, either we create a route, okay, managed by an intent, or we can create a condition route that is just true, okay, which doesn't have anything but that transition to first page. Okay, this is the route, or this is the way you can move to another page. Either you use an intent or this kind of true route. So when I come here, now you will see different things. Okay, this is different from the first page. First page has routes, event handler and state handlers, while the other pages except the start page has different things: description, entry fulfillment, parameter, routes and state handlers. Okay, you can choose event handler for this page specific as well. These event handlers are for the flow. If you choose specific event handler for the page, those event handlers were triggered, otherwise it will trigger from event handlers from the start page of the flow. So here this is entry fulfillment. That means first flow, first page, entry fulfillment. Okay, let me add this and save this. So you'll see that the conversational flow is like this. You go to start page, then you write first flow or trigger the first flow. You go to first flow, we have true, that means go to next thing, because we have set that as well. Once you come here, we have this entry fulfillment message. Okay, so let's do the replay. So when I click here, yeah, you see the first thing was hi, we got a response from default start flow. Then I have written first flow and it has gone to first flow, first page, entry fulfillment. And if I look into execution steps, so again we came to this part, then we went to redirect flow because I have written first flow. Then we went to this true condition, then that true condition led us to this part, and on the fifth part we got a response from here. So I think these kind of a loop is complete for you. You move from one page to another page into a flow, and you move from one flow to another flow. Now under the page, first page, you see one different section, parameters. Okay, so if I click here, you'll see a different kind of UI. This UI says that parameters are values extracted from the end user during the conversation. That means you give a name. Basically, these are entities. You give a name to your entity type. Make sure it is required or not. Is it a list or not? And then you provide a phrase. If the parameter is not filled, this phrase will be shown to the user, and you save it. So let's just extract name. So here there are predefined system and custom entities. We will look into that maybe. So there are system entities, and here are the list of system entities. Okay, there are a bunch of system entities, geographical code, date and time. This is time period and time and date time itself. So there are a couple of, you can look into that. Then there is custom entities as well. Okay, so there are kind of so custom entities are, you can say not limitations. So you can easily create your custom entities, provide a name, and there are different ways like regex or fuzzy matching or synonyms of that phrase. And when something falls into that category of the phrase, that entity is extracted into that category basically, and you will see the result of that into Dialogflow CX. So this is the way you create, like for example here it is shown vegetables. So you provide all the different kinds of vegetables and the synonym of that into this entity label vegetables. So here I'll say system person, and if I look here, system person, this will matches common given names, last names or their combinations, options to match uncommon names as well. So this is how you use it, and this is what you get. Okay, so system person, let's say required, and I'll say what is your name. Okay, let's say please tell me your name. Let me save this. Okay, so now you understand the conversation flow. You say first flow, you come to this page, first page, because we have redirected using a true condition. That means whenever you land here, you go to this thing. Once you come here, you will see this first flow, first page, entry fulfillment, and then Dialogflow will try to fill the parameters. How it will fill the parameters? It will provide this one of the phrases from these two to the user. So let's test this. Let me retest up to that point. Okay, so you can see first flow, first page, entry fulfillment, and we are saying what's your name. Okay, when I say I am Raj, obviously it's not going to do anything because we haven't set. So now you can see here the parameter is filled. You can see the parameter is filled clearly, name, and the value is an object with name extracted and original provided. Okay, so if you look at the execution steps, we came to this parameter and we have extracted that, but you did not tell what to do. So then there is, another kind of a route, which is a route which is session status, which is a kind of session status. So we have seen intent, we have seen condition here, and now let's see session status. So if I click here, learn more, one thing I want to mention here is that the documentation is so rich that you can read the documentation and see things, and you can taste those things into your application. So if I state handlers pages, so I'll search for the thing Dialogflow CX session parameter status. Okay, so there is a parameter section totally, and if you see here, it says that there are three kind of parameters: intent, page, and session. So you can see with these things you can get the value of parameter which is extracted into intent. So you can create intent, and those intent can extract the value. If you remember, when we did this, it was showing ordinal here. Okay, ordinal here. So this way, oh, it went somewhere. Yeah, we were basically here. So this is how you get the intent parameter. Then there is a page parameter, and under the page parameter there are a couple of statuses. First one is final, another one is updated. So this final means all the page parameters are now filled what you want to do. Okay, so I'll copy this thing directly from here, and I'll add another route. This time I'll say customize expression, and I'll say this, and here I'll say thank you for the information, and I will add another response. You have entered. Here we'll say dollar session dot params dot person dot name. I hope this will work. Sometimes I forget things. I hope this should work. So you will see two responses. I'll save this, and you can see we have at the point where we have provided the parameter was filled, but it did not know what to do next. But now we have provided a way to do things, and you can see here we have transition. Once you show this messages, you move to another flow or a page inside the flow. So my bad, I'm not sure I have saved it or not. Yeah, I have saved it, I guess. So when I now hopefully retest this, yeah, sometimes it's not showing the correct value. Session dot let me see here. Yeah, so this is the way you can use it. Session perm date, I guess session perms. Yeah, my bad. The parameter ID is name and I use person, so I'll say name. I'll save this. Hopefully this time it will work. Route saved successfully, and if I retest this, yeah, you can see you have entered Raj. So this is how different kind of routing works. One kind of routing is true. Another kind of routing is when you provide an intent. Okay, another kind of routing is where you have parameters that are filled and you use a custom condition to route to another page inside the flow, so or another flow. So this is how the basic architecture of the Dialogflow CX works. What I want you to do is that you can use this thing, see if you move from one flow to another flow, one page to another page, you can provide dummy utterances to do that. And let's do one thing, let me save this as well, so whenever we next meet, okay, this is whiteboard. Okay, let me save this, and let me show you that we will be creating a GitHub repository for this, and I'll share the link of it here as well. Okay, okay. Okay, so I have created a repository as well, and yeah, okay, this is the repository. Okay, I'll be adding things into this repository as we move forward. So at this point, I guess this is what I had actually in my mind when I was designing these things. Okay, yeah, let's see how Saran Ravi says kindly implement route group over this project. Okay, can you add proactive messages? Yeah, we can do that. Okay, so far so good. Okay, so I guess this is it from my side. The homework for this first lecture is to understand the conversation and how you manage the conversation end to end. And once you do that, once you complete these things, you will be able to master the conversation. One more time, you can move from a flow to another flow. Inside a flow, you can move from one page to another page, or a page to another flow, but you cannot move from one flow to page from another flow. That is a way to create intent. Now let's look into how you can create entities. So here, let's say size, for example. Okay, you can choose entity only, no synonym, regex entity, and advanced setting, automatic expansion, fuzzy matching, redirecting log, and other stuff. So here, let's say small, so I can say S as well. Let's add medium, M as well. Let's say large, L. Okay, one more. Let's say extra large, XL. Okay, so these are the entities that can fall into size. Let me click on automatic expansion. Let's save this. Now you can use it anywhere. For example, if you go here, if you click here, and if you say size, you will receive it here. Let's say size, let's say please tell me your size, or what is your fitted size, what size, I guess, what size fits you. Okay, let me save this so you can see here. So now obviously there are two parameters. So when it will ask please tell me your name, when you provide that, it will ask for the size, and the sequence matters. Okay, another way to use this is in intent. And now let's create an intent, and here let's say user provides size. Now you can see the naming convention here, user provides size. When I read the name of the intent, I understand that this is the intent where we capture the size of the user. So let's say S fits me. Okay, and you can see it has extracted the entity. Let's say L. I think I will go with M. I will take XL, extra large. Okay, and when you save this, if you go here, let's say for this part, let me create an intent, user provides size, and under fulfillment I'll say I have got the size. Okay, and let's add another response, and from here there was this part where let's say this part. Intent param id is size and resolve, and let me save this. So you can see we have this part. So let's taste it. Let me reset this. So now I'll show you something. I will take Excel size. Oh, my bad. It went to default system no match, and why it is so? Let me add this to manage user provide size. This should have worked. Yeah, so I guess the training was going on. Let's see. Oh, model training failed. Why is there? If I go here under validations, there is no error. Yeah, first flow, refresh. There is no error. Okay, so if I do this again, yeah, when I say I will take Excel size, I have got the size extra large, and still we are on default start flow. So when I say first flow, we will go to please tell me your name. Let's say Raj, and it went to thank you for the information you have entered, Raj. And you can see it did not went to this size part, and I'm not sure why. If anyone can tell me why it did not went there. It's let's say a small quiz. A small quiz to everybody, why it did not went to ask for this size. Update status feature. Yeah, can anyone, why it did not went to ask? Because if you see here, the size parameter was already filled, so it did not went to fill the size parameter. It went directly to page.params.status final, because all the things were filled. But if I reset this and I'll say first flow, it will ask for my name. I'll say I'm Raj, and then it will ask what size fits you. I'll say Excel. Okay, thank you for the information you have entered. Yeah, because here we have done that response. So I hope now the basic conversation is clear. I want you all to do some practice of the navigation from one to another using one way or another way. And once you master that, it will be very helpful in the upcoming lectures, where we understand the navigation in depth. In the third section or third session, we will look into fulfillment or webhook, and in the fourth session we will look into the food ordering bot. So I hope this is it from my side. If anyone have any question, you can ask it I'll just wait for one brief minute. Okay, I'll wait for one brief minute. If someone asks a question, I'm not sure I can, yeah, pop out chat. I can do that. I was missing this thing. Yeah, now that's better. I'm not sure if I have written the correct dates, but okay, page param update. So page param update, if you see here, page param update. So this this thing works when someone update a particular parameter. So for example, here in the flow, if someone specifically writes that I take Excel size, for example, okay, but then they modify, I hope this will work, I take let's say, sorry, I'll take small size. Okay, you see now this part is updated, so you can capture this event using a route where you have a particular status of a parameter, you provide the ID, is updated. I hope this clears your doubts on how parameters status is updated and how you can capture that. Okay, I hope this explains your question. Is there any new question? I'm not sure which kind of label you are referring to. State label. State label. What do you mean by state label? I'm not sure. State label. Can you try it? But I'm not sure what state label you are referring to. Let's do one thing. You can send your message on I don't switch, I don't want to do anything. So you can post your streamer mode, username, no problem, I am not using any of these features. So I have a Discord channel, Dialogflow CX YouTube channel. You can message your concerns here. I'll get back to you whenever I see that. Also, so okay, inside the intent, so if you go to intent, any intent, okay, there are different kind of labels, and if you look here, select a system label and or a custom one, and I'm not sure if that affects anywhere. Let's say redirect label, and if I save this, I'm not sure it's going to that does not have enough unique training phrases, no negative, okay, no problem, and okay, totally fine. So I'm not sure, I don't have any clear understanding on labels as of now, but let me see. It have a lot of impact. Sure, you can contact me through WhatsApp or Discord. We'll discuss the things, but I hope this is it from my side on the first session on Dialogflow CX course. Hopefully you have enjoyed it, and we will meet on next Saturday, that is 19th, but I'm not sure when I sent the mail I have written the correct dates, but I want to mention the dates here. We'll be doing first session, so we are doing first session on this 12th, then the next session will be on 19th, then on 26th, and then on 2nd of November we will do sessions. So I hope you have gained some knowledge again. Yeah, I hope you have gained some knowledge from this session, and if you do so, and if you think that my content helps you, please consider subscribing to my channel. That helps. Thank you for watching, and peace.